Hello. Can you guys hear me? You guys can probably hear me. I hope you can. Hello. How happy Geno Smith get healthy day to anyone that celebrated. Brandon Drury, get ratioed. The chat box is all wonky, so hold on. Hold on. We'll call it there. And then can I extend it on the top? Hold on. Oh, this is so sad. You know, that big message is just going to keep getting cut off, bro. Channing, yes. The war coming in and going out and everything like that. Seen you in the comments. Yes. Hopefully they can make some improvements. Hi, Joe. Where's Colton? Jay Gutierrez. Hello, 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 everybody. Colton he's working. He's got a job 8 to 5 on Fridays. And tonight we do have to get recording to the Hit It Here podcast pretty quickly after he gets home, he said. So I was waiting for the Hawks game to finish and maybe he'd hop on like when he got home, but we got to get recording to the podcast straight away. So if the Mariners make some move like last Sunday late at night, it might just be me again solo. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at as far as the... Hold on. Need to break the fourth wall. Okay, there was a layout problem there. That's where we're at in terms of like programming. Essentially, sign Bellinger. We can't afford that. We don't need Snell. Talk about Snell and Lee. Yeah, I mean, there's some moves. There's some rumblings. An article just came out not too long ago, like an hour ago, roughly, about a potential trade target for the Mariners. I don't know why the Guardians would be wanting to trade Josh Naylor, but for some reason, he's been shopped. He's being shopped, and Cubs, Mariners, and Pirates are interested. It's an MLB Trade Rumors article, but we can talk about that more in a second. I want to say hi to everybody. Mr. Guarded, Bill, Eddie, Dorian, incoming Joey Wendell acquisition. I'm going to throw up. Zach, obviously Prima. What's up, what's up, what's up? Abraham, hello. The Army Men Major. What's up, Mariners gang? What's up? Yuri, hello. Mariners just signed Soler. There's your Morosi report. I mean, hey. Not to say that I want him to be able to continue to yap the way he has this offseason, but if I'm hoping he gets one thing right this offseason, because it's been just an awful offseason for reports from Morosi. So hopefully, he can have a little bounce back, I guess, but maybe, some people might not need it. You love to see it? Jake, what's up, bro? Hello. Enjoyed your podcast with Ty. Was listening to it while playing Lego Fortnite, aka Minecraft. It was an enjoyable listen, so appreciate you putting that out, getting that all sorted. If you guys don't already, you're not aware of who you love to see it is, great, Twitter presence at Mariners Jerseys, who's the Mariners jersey tracker last year, and he's making YouTube content now. So click on his username, go to his channel, subscribe, do it right now, please. I beg of you. Jerry Dipoto not making moves. Yeah, we don't know. I don't really know what's going on, because like last weekend, we were not expecting really anything going on. And then, of course, Jared Kelenic got traded. So, again, it could be another late Sunday night acquisition period for the Mariners and, Dipoto and everybody. But, yeah, Josh Naylor's bottom of the barrel again. Josh Naylor is an interesting pickup, Bill, because I think last season was kind of an outlier season as far as average. His first time hitting above 300, a sneaky 300 hitter, which was like, I saw that Josh Naylor was hitting 300 and it kind of blew me away. And so we're going to read, just take a gander through the article, read off some stats here in a bit. I'm a sweetheart, Jake. Heart eye emoji. Could I say hi to Colton? No, he's not here today. Lucario, anything for you, bro. So everyone, really quickly, before we get into the article, say hi to Colton. Everyone say hi to Colton. Thoughts on... Okay. Prima, are you just trying to get like the funny name bait? Is that what you're going for? Prima, what's the pre-evolution for Swalot? Can you tell me in chat? Pre-evolution of Swalot, since I know you know about Pokemon. Everyone say hi to Colton. C money. That's it right there. That's good. I feel like Urias could give you Kyle Seager-esque production once healthy. Okay. I'm all in if Urias has given us Seager level production. I mean, 30 home runs ish, and 80 to 90 RBI. I mean, I'm in. I'm in, bro. Gulpin these. Anyways, so Josh Naylor last year, he's only 26. I feel like he's older, you know. Seager hit 30 bombs once. All right, it'll count. It counts. 26-year-old Naylor last season hit 308, 354, 489, 17 homers and 495 plate appearances. Okay, it was a 124. He's got a 124 OPS plus since like 2022, right? So his strikeout rate last year is 13.7%. He continues to lower his strikeout percentage, 18% down to 16%, down to 13% last year. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Josh Naylor. And the trade rumors article at the end, I'm going to switch scenes here really quickly. Hold on. Give me a second. So in the trade rumors article right here, okay, it's saying the M's have already parted ways with Teo, Gino, and Kelenic. Sadness. And in the pursuit of more contact. And Naylor could also give the Mariners cover to trade current first baseman Ty France. And I'm not sure why. I mean, if we... Whoa, that was loud in my ears. Jay, thank you for subscribing. If you guys aren't subscribing, watching the stream, we're closing in on 10K. We're almost like 500 away. So appreciate it if you guys could subscribe. That would be sick. So do that. But I don't know, like, as far as trading Naylor, or trading for Naylor and trading Ty France, like, it depends on what we're getting, but, like, I think both can coexist. I think both can happen on the same team. U.S. veteran, hello, it's just me today. Hello. Pleasure. But, yeah, America stuff also, hello. Hi. Yeah, I'm not sure why we'd trade France as well, but I get, like, if you wanted to give Naylor full reign over first base, I mean, go for it, right? I don't know. He's had an OPS plus above 120 the last 2 years, 121 and 133. But I would say this average right here, this 308 average, is an outlier from previous seasons. You know what I mean? Bring back utility guys like Brad Miller and Nick Franklin. We got to throw in Taylor Motter at that point. For me personally, we got to get Taylor Motter back on the squad. Spam Umbreon in chat, but you haven't gotten your member message yet. No worries, bro. I'll grab him in a second. Praying France has his best season of his career in Seattle. Hey, that's another thing. Is like, if we're moving off of Ty France, is what this article is suggesting at the end. If we trade for Naylor for whatever reason, could we be, cutting our losses too quickly? I don't know. Because, they're not worried about trading Jared Kelenic when he showed his first kind of sign of life, I think, in 2022 or 2023. And then he's obviously traded in a salary dump move with Evan White and Marco to the Braves. So I don't know. This next move for the Mariners could be very interesting. I'm going to look at Naylor's Savant page really quickly. And obviously not a good base runner, and that's okay. We don't need him to be a good base runner, but overall the Savant page looks really good. The chase percentage isn't great, but his whiff and K percentage, I think, will make up for that if the Mariners were to go out and acquire him. He's young-ish, controllable-ish. I want to say where was it at? So yeah, it'd only be for, 2 seasons-ish. And, he could be a nice bridge to Tyler Locklear, but I think Ty France is the same thing. Yeah, dude. Hey, big signing there. Big minor league signing. Abraham with the $2 super chat whenever it comes through. The super chats take a while. I appreciate it, my guy. Paredes, Arozarena, Soler, and Merrifield to Seattle. No Merrifield, Lucario says. I'm not overly high on Merrifield, but hey, I'm not opposed to them bringing people in, because right now we still got 4 40-man spots to fill. I feel like we have 4 holes in our team, and those 4 guys would definitely be major league players for us. So just trade for Ohtani, easy, bro. Easy peasy trade for Ohtani. The Dodgers, they don't need him. It'll be fine. Thoughts on Ford, Bliss, and Prelander for Arozarena? Harry Ford, Ryan Bliss, and Prelander for Randy Arozarena. Um, I think it'd be fine. I'm just not sure I'd want to trade Harry Ford because of the lack of, I think, the lack of premier catching depth in the Mariners organization. But I'd be fine with giving up Bliss and Prelander so long as we can figure out a way to fill the void that losing Prelander would bring. There's the $2 super chat. Thank you, Abraham. Appreciate that again, my guy. So, yeah, I don't know. I am not super certain on that, but Solaire's message is mentioned in Abraham's super chat. So I've got Solaire's Savant page pulled up as well because the Mariners have been linked to him. The Mariners have been, I won't say linked, but, theory crafting from MLB reporters and just media in general. And I don't hate this idea of signing him to a 3-year, $45 million deal, something like that. It's not going to be a super lucrative contract because we're not getting him to play defense in the outfield, right? He's going to just be our main DH and then goes play spot starts in the outfield. I'm going to go scroll down to his fielding really quick. So last year it was at 102 games at DH and then only 32 games in the outfield. So it's pretty much going to be a DH only kind of role. 30 to 40 games, it's fine, right? In the outfield, if you pair him with Dom Canzone or Cade Marlowe or Zach DeLoach, what have you, for the like that platoon out there, if you want to call it a platoon, that Jerry was kind of hinting at with the 1.5 outfielders. Boomstick Jr., yes. Walmart Boomstick is what I called him on Twitter a while ago, but 1-year deals to veterans and declare a retooling in the next offseason. See, I don't, the window feels now. And I get that the window is not closing by next offseason, ice water, but I just don't want to phone it in. I don't want to phone in the offseason. But we'll look at Solaire's Savant page really fast. I mentioned 3 years, 45, maybe. I don't think you take a 2-year deal, but I wouldn't want to go more than 3 or 4. So it's around $15 million a year. So I'm sorry. Did I see a trade go down for Clark the Cub? We're trading the Moose? Why are we trading the Moose? What's wrong with the Moose? Thoughts on Harry Ford ETA? I don't think he sees Major League action next year. If anything, it'd be a random little call-up at the end of the year, a little September call-up just to get him in the fold, but definitely 2025. I think Cole Young, Harry Ford will be very much so 2025. Blake Hunt and Ty Pete instead of Ford. Ooh, I like Ty Pete a lot, but I think that makes more sense. But we did just get Blake Hunt from the Rays. That's how we acquired him, so I'm not sure. Can Rhys Hoskins play third? He's going to probably be a DH only or like very limited action in the field so far, Christian. This year, because he's recovering from the ACL injury, he's first base and like left field, but mainly first base. So Rhys Hoskins, it's only going to be like a first base DH role. What's the one in-stadium upgrade do you I hope occurs next? The one stadium upgrade. I'm gonna what is it called? Like when you like table that for a second. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. But Solaire, kind of like all over the place, but Solaire's Savant page, it's pretty solid in my opinion. Pretty good. I enjoy looking at this. The K percentage is not great, but for your DH only, he walks a good amount anyway, so I think it's fine. So make the pizza on the value menu. That's yours. Hey, that's not a bad shout. That is not a bad shout. Let's see. Get good players, Sal Pinella says. I don't know if that's necessarily a stadium upgrade, though. Who do I want? Why do you want Donovan or India? Accent's asking Prima. Because Rojas and Urias aren't also very inspiring, but I understand, Accent, that you're not in that camp of wanting Donovan or India, but I think it's a very lateral situation with like Rojas versus India versus like if we give Rojas time to show that he could, yeah, it's lateral, exactly. Like it's not necessarily being that big of an upgrade, but I don't want to say like it could be worth a shot, but I think there are bigger issues right now than trying to go out and get, another second baseman or third baseman type, because you need to fill out the outfield first. Fix the choke point down the left field line. It's awful. What is the choke point? What is that? Is that like that little cove? Like where the stands are kind of like, it cuts in, but got stuck for an hour opening move and nobody was moving? Do you just mean like on the roads or like in the stadium? Because like everyone's just trying to go out that way. I think I get what you're saying now. I get what you're saying. I got there. Have too many infielders anyways, and yes, outfield should be priority with DH. Yes. Accent, we are on the same page, I'd say, the most of the time. We might be reading the book, the same book, but different page every once in a while, but we're there, right? Jungle Lee updates. I think something that I really wasn't considering, and it's unfortunate because I really like Jung-Hoo Lee, Charles, is the posting fee that it would cost to get Jung-Hoo Lee on top of the contract. So we'll have to pay his team in the KBO, the Kowloon Heroes, a posting fee on top of the contract that we're signing Lee for. So that is, even if his contract's 5 years, 50 million, 10 million a year, whatever, a portion of that, on top of that, has to go to his team in the KBO as part of the posting fee. So the money there, it's just not going to make a whole ton of sense ultimately, which sucks because I really like Jung-Hoo Lee and the potential there, but it's just not. I unfortunately, I think I have to be okay with not getting Jung-Hoo Lee. I'm still trying to think of this change to the stadium. Honestly, Jake, Colton might be a better answer for this because he goes to a lot more games than I do, since I do not live in Washington. I'm in California. And so I only went to like 4 or 5 games last year. And so I can't really think of a majority, like something off the top of my head that really makes a lot of sense. Maybe. No, it'd be really ugly. I was gonna say like an awning for some shade out in the J-Rod squad because I got burned. Well, I didn't get burned, but Colton got pretty sunburnt when we went out there. Max Kepler for Emerson Hancock and Jonathan Clase. Hell bent on trading Jonathan Clase. I'm in. I mean, I think that package might be a little bit much for Kepler, but yeah, I'm in for trading Jonathan Clase for whatever reason. I mean, it would get it done, I'd say. I would say that probably does it for Minnesota. I'm a commie. Yo. On a hot Sunday afternoon is living hell. Yeah, it was that was certainly a choice on our part, Lucario. Can we get Snell for 100? Yo! Did Pant Michael just become a member? Did he live up to his... He lived up to the lost the bet. Exactly, lived up to the bet. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. That's hilarious. You got some emotes. You got a badge in chat now with a green name. Shout out the emotes. Me when you become a member. Me. Think we can get Belly? I think his market is going to be too robust. I think the Giants are going to be heavy on him. I think the Jays, now that they lost on Ohtani and Soto, are probably going to be pretty heavy on him. So I'm not sure. We don't need Snell. Can we get Snell for 100? 100, I'm honestly not. I would be okay with that. But the we don't need Snell conversation is like, yeah, we don't need arms, so then you trade an arm, and then like this whole back and forth nuance, like, I don't know. I don't know where the Mariners are at, because Jerry said like we're less likely to trade an arm because we traded Marco. And so now your major league pitching depth is what? Emerson Hancock and Jackson Kovar or whatever. So it has shifted to bats because I don't think that they really feel they can trade a pitcher unless they get someone back in a deal along with filling out some of the holes. Like I was theory crafting a trade where we traded Bryce Miller or Brian Wu. I think they're pretty interchangeable, to the Orioles for Heston Kjerstad, Jordan Westberg. No, that's not the right name. Connor Norby, and then Tyler Wells would be the return in a Bryce Miller, Brian Wu package. Because Kjerstad gets you an outfielder. Norby, he's a second baseman, but he played outfield in the minors as well. And then you get Tyler Wells, who's he will be a fine number 5. If you really need it, like, he'll be fine. Had a decent season last year in Baltimore. I could see it translating okay to Seattle. If you really need to trade a pitching, I think that trade could make sense, but I'm probably overselling Bryce Miller or Brian Wu. And I don't know if the Orioles would ever do that trade because you're trading two prospects pretty high, like Norby and Kierstead. Norby's not super high. I could have gone like higher as like with Joey Ortiz or something, but I didn't. And then Tyler Wells. I think it's a fine move, but it's not. We're not going to get Jackson Holiday guarded, unfortunately. He is almost untouchable in a trade, I would say. But Robbie isn't back till All-Star game at the earliest. Daydara answered a question for me in chat. Daydara's the homie. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate. That's true. All-Star break at the earliest, maybe a little bit later. So trade for Nomar Garciaparra. Yo, we just naming names. Throwing out names there. Give me Roberto Alomar, please. Brian Wu and Class A for Randy. Sign Gurriel Jr. Wouldn't complain. I don't hate that trade. I think at that point, Jay, you need to go out and sign a pitcher because you can't roll into spring training with Emerson Hancock as your 5 right away. I think if you go out and signed, if you can get Lugo or a Michael Walker, have been the names for the most part that I've been focused on. If the Mariners were to make a trade for like trading one of their young starting pitchers, because they're not super expensive. And the market's going to be okay, but it's not going to be out of this world. I'm going to go look at the pitcher list really fast to see if there's other guys in that name. But thoughts on Randy? Juicy, I enjoy some Randy Arozarena. I understand the qualms about his defense, but and the contract, the arbitration contract will be kind of expensive, and I get that. I think he'd be pretty electric out there in left field. I would be pretty okay with getting Randy Arozarena for the right price. Looking at some pitchers like lower level than Seth Lugo, like that would be worthwhile because you like if you say you bring James Paxton back, is he going to be healthy? That's a question that you have to ask. Like Julio Teheran, that's probably still too low. Alex Wood would be a guy that could be interesting, but that's still setting the bar pretty low. Not to be rude, but like Tyler Mahle, like if he's gonna be healthy, you know, there's guys out there that can be in that conversation for if you trade a young starting pitcher, sign someone that's in that lower level tier of pitching, that might be okay, you know. Not trading Wu for Randy unless you get someone else in return, like a double A prospect. Yeah, I think the package has to expand at a certain point. Like it'll be interesting to see how the value for starting pitching kind of takes shape. Because we haven't really seen much trade, like I want to say like big value trades happen necessarily. I haven't seen a whole lot of young starting pitching move because it's often a commodity teams don't really trade because especially like ones that are at the major league level, like trading Mackenzie Gore for Juan Soto makes sense, but like haven't really seen it happen. Pax was in Boston, correct. He was okay. He just, you know, he's got injury history. And like if you can trust that, I'm not sure. Pant Michael, appreciate the $2 super chat. It'll pop up at some point. Add Martin Maldonado and call it an off season. I think, accent, correct me if I'm wrong, you would probably stop being a fan of this team if we signed Maldonado and called it an off season. So bring back Archimedes Caminero and the season is saved. Literally, he'd be the Mariners save. Like, he would be the closer. He would save the games. So bring back Casey Cochran and Ryan Langerhans. Bro, we're just naming names. John Josso? Can I get a John Josso in chat? Shine Justin Smoke to a minor league deal? Bro. Are the Braves a money laundering operation? Alex Anthopoulos knows something that we don't, Jake. It's true. He really does, because somehow, some way, he keeps getting away with it. He'd have no problem being a Royals fan. Yo, the Royals are winning the World Series. Accent. They signed Will Smith. There's the super chat. Appreciate you, dog. Give me David Brayton. Dude. I don't even know where to begin. Go get Kepler and Polanco. I mean, that's not, you know, it's a kind of a crowded infield with Rojas, Urias, and Polanco, but I don't hate that idea. The package increases beyond like a Hancock and like a 15 to 20 prospect. Maybe that elevates it to a Bryce Miller and you just call it a day. Like, I don't know. I'm not certain about what the package would be for getting Kepler and Polanco, but huge Cabby fan. Hey, man. Cabby does a lot of good things on the baseball field. I just wish he was a little bit more consistent with his bat. And if he corrects that going next season, he'll be a fine utility player. So, give you DK Metcalf, bro's a menace, slamming people on the field. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get into that, but what the heck is going on here? Chaos, Colton. Chaos. Everyone say hi to Colton. We miss Kellenic. Cool Breeze misses Kellenic. Secular, Wamba Frog. Secular Monk wants Raul Ibanez back. I wouldn't mind some Raul Ibanez. Okay, we're going to say hi to Colton again since he's here in chat. Everyone say hi to Colton while he's here in chat. Can we trade for Cooper Hummel? He needs a second chance. I'm not sold on that idea, but we're just going to roll with what we got. Ringworm Sherm. Nice name. Ringworm Sherm. Rolling with what we got, huh? I'm imagining the Mariners outfield of like Cade Marlowe in left, Julio in center, and Dom Canzone in right. And I kind of want to throw up. But I'm not going to, because that would be inappropriate. But I really hope we don't. Anthony Santander, that is another guy trading with the Orioles. I mentioned my Miller trade earlier. Trading with the Orioles for Santander, it's not going to cost you Miller or Wu unless you like add something into it. He killed us last year. Santander was a menace to society, the Mariner Society specifically last year. My issue for him is the money he is owed in arbitration. I want to say it's like $10 million. MLB trade rumors, arbitration projections. I just need to pin this to the top of my Chrome. Orioles. Hold, please. Orioles. Santander's owed $12 million next year in arbitration as a projection. If we're only working with like $20 million, it's not. That doesn't leave us a whole lot of room to do anything else. But I don't hate the idea of picking up Santander because outfield he can play first base as well a little bit, so it's not a bad shout. I'd be okay with it. Lucario, bro, it's not working. I'd say give it up. Got to give it up, bro. You got to do it at like at the end of like last time end of stream when you were hitting me with the wait. That might be the time to do it. Zach DeLoach is just gonna be another Cade Marlowe. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair comp. A lot of people, not a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but Colton, I did see your little, oh God, guys, green wall of members trying to spell Colton's name is going great. If DeLoach or Marlowe give us anything like what Kelenic could be, I'd be okay. I'd be pretty happy. Because I think that is them exceeding their expectations. Colt, you guys got Colton. Come on! Nice. He's done it! Absolute class. All right. And then we're done. We're done spelling Colton's name in chat. Congratulations, you did it. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for you. Man all year, but hits a massive walk-off grand slam once a year. I mean, yeah, so Santander, I think he can be kind of streaky, but I wouldn't hate the idea. Bro, did you just fat thumb my name? I think you just fat thumbed my name, Pant Michael. You were trying to spell my name, and you hit R. Yo, should we ban him for that? Should we ban him? If you put Ichiro in right field and give him a 300 at-bats, what do I think his slash line be? Oh, easily over Mendoza's line. I think he can hit I think he's hitting 250. I think he's hitting 250. Easy. Don't care. Ichiro he's still got it, bro. And all he'd have to do is just hit singles. Singles merchant, don't care. Stat padding, don't care. He could do it. I think he could do it. Hernandez has come back for 15. Yeah. The Candelario contract is really interesting for setting up that tier of hitters. I would say Teo probably could get a little bit more money than Candelario, maybe, but not much. Like, not that much. Gurriel Jr. or Max Kepler? Gurriel Jr. for me personally. I got sent 2 ads. Did you reply, bro? You're getting hit with ads? Deloach to Marlowe and have zero idea what they're talking about? Is that what the reply is that you're asking for? Accent? So what is different between Deloach and Marlowe's game? As far as... No? Never mind. All right, my bad, bro. My bad, bro. Bro, YouTube ads are going crazy, huh? My bad, guys. My bad. New member prick ads don't affect you. I don't know how to fix that. YouTube's going crazy. Really like the video on the Reds. Well, shout out to Colton for making that video. We'd love to get Marte back. Yeah, I think the trade with the Reds could line up. I would just be worried about their asking price for some of their young bats, but you know, only big ballers have YouTube Premium. Yo, YouTube Premium guys, stand up. Deloach was a higher draft pick. Might as well give him a roster spot. Far better and consistent hitter. Deloach is average at defense. Marlowe above average. Marlowe's much faster than Deloach. Marlowe's platoon candidate. Deloach hits both sides well. Interesting. So Deloach, he correct me if I'm wrong, accent. He ran a pretty high strikeout percentage, right? He runs a pretty high strikeout percentage. Like 28. Marlowe was at like in the 30s before he saw big league time last year, right? Not as high as Marlowe. Okay, see, that's what I was gonna ask. I feel like Marlowe's was in the 30s, and he was at 27.8 last year in AAA. Okay, so it's not terrible. It's serviceable, but it could be worse. Juicy, I'm not gonna touch that comment, by the way. I don't want to dig into why you hate Brian Wu, personally. Rhys Hoskins, Jorge Soler, and Santander. That's a lot of guys that need to play DH. At least 2. And unfortunately, there's only 1 DH. So your outfield, you're going to have Julio running down everything left and right. Think Felon and Celsius going to be a bust? Why? Why? I want all of our prospects just to be the best prospects ever. Because I think that'd be sick. Deloach also has a far better eye. Okay. So as far as a hitter, accent, what would you I don't want to say project for Zach Deloach, but like if he's gonna see legitimate time, somewhere in between Marlowe and Kelenic, then somewhere in between, as far as a hitter. Yo. Thoughts on Joey Saguli Bowman? I don't know how to read names. I don't know how to pronounce that in the funny way that you want me to. So, Soler and Bellinger, please. Got bad news about Bellinger. 200 ABs between Canzone and Kelenic. Okay. All right. Hey, just asking. I mean, I my expectations for Deloach are astronomically low. And so if he does anything good, I'm in. Joey's a gullible man. See, now you say it like that, Prima. I get it now. I get it. I just, in the moment, can't read that. Julio for Triple Crown. Do you guys think now that Shohei is out of the American League, Julio has a, pretty good shot at the MVP? Or is it still, I think Soto is going to be a problem in Yankee Stadium. Obviously, if Aaron Judge is healthy. If Jordan's healthy. Corey Seager just had, a phenomenal year. There's guys, but I have a feeling that Julio might have a better shot since Ohtani won't just be winning it every single year. Don't you mean Jar? I am only Jar from now on. Yeah, that'll be fun. Don't want to trade any pitchers, rather just grab bats via free agency. Yeah, I mean, I think Soler it's a great start. but you can't stop there. Julio improves again. He's top 3 guaranteed. Agreed. I would agree, Accent. Julio hits for the cycle near the All-Star game. We taking shots at what game that is. Seager's going to be Julio's biggest competition. You're not moved by Juan Soto or Aaron Judge. Marlon Deloach strike out way too much, though. I mean, in limited quantities, I think that's just going to happen. It's not like, I don't think it's going to be that detrimental to their success should they find it, Maybe Soto with the short porch, not sure though. Yeah, I think Soto, my December 10th picks would be Soto, Seager, and Julio for top 3. So July 11th, Julio goes 5-5. Hold on, let me write a note down for that. Notorious him. I'll put a bet on it that day. We'll see if I can hit a sick bet on July 11th. If we trade one of our young arms, I hope it's Randy or someone good. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Mariners aren't gonna. Well, knock on wood. The Mariners aren't gonna trade their young starting pitching for something that's not a guaranteed success to make them better for next year. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any way, shape, or form that happens because they know the prize that they have with the young starting pitching. They know that. So moving off of that and not getting a good return would be cataclysmic to the Mariners as a team. So be a big problem. How much would I give for a Rose Arena? For just Randy alone, I'm probably doing Bryce Miller and like a prospect not on the 40-man because the Rays probably don't want another guy on the 40-man. So someone in like the 12 to 20 range. I don't know if they would want another pitcher. I'd be willing to give up Mike Morales or Walter Ford. If it's some sort of fielding prospect, we're not very deep in that regard in those positions at that point in the prospect list. But like Axel Sanchez, but they don't need an outfielder or an infielder. So maybe like the Axel Sanchez of the outfield for the Mariners in terms of prospects. But be prepared to see Cabby, Marlowe, Canzone, and Haggerty opening day. Sour Vanilla, those are the 4 horsemen of my apocalypse in my like sleep paralysis demons there. Like I'm imagining those 4 guys on opening day. It's going to give me nightmares. Cleveland signed Austin Hedges. It's Depover. Yo. It's GG's, bro. It's GG's. Which Mariner is hitting the longest home run in Coors this year? They haven't been signed yet. It's going to be Jorge Soler. Hasn't been signed yet. Guys, I hope you're wrong. I know you're just trolling, bro. It's one of those situations where we're all just kind of sitting on our hands waiting. And it's hard not to, I want to say like get defensive because that's not the right way to put it, but to not see where the state of this roster and be like, we need to upgrade. But then obviously the inverse of that is we're seeing Cabby, Marlowe, Haggerty like all on opening day. So yeah. Isn't Jerry a former relief pitcher? He was a pitcher. I don't know if he's a relief pitcher. I can't remember. To be quite honest with you, I did not know much about Jerry's playing career up until like 2 years ago. I had no idea. So, Ty France is batting .310 with 25 homers. Yo, if France hits above 280, I'll be over the moon. Jazzed. So pumped. Because of Ty France bounce back will be huge for this team. BP, moving France to third would be bad, unfortunately. Does not have the athleticism, I would say, to play third base anymore. So, Jerry struck out service for. Is there a clip of that? I feel like I've seen that clip, actually. I feel like I saw that going around on Twitter like a year ago or something like that. Cannot wait for Marlowe to become such a fixture next year. We name a barbecue dish at the stadium the Marlowe Slow. Oh. Bro. The calzone, right? There's the ham swaggerty. That's another sandwich. The low and slow brisket. You're on to something, Jake. You're on to something. Timeline on Ray coming back. All-Star break and like a little bit after. So think middle July to like middle August is probably the time frame. Assuming no setbacks. Jerry had a 6 WAR. Yo, we could go acquire a 6 WAR player if we had Jerry just pitch his entire career for us again. Easy. I'm sorry. Prima, how in the world are you going to fit 100 RBIs into Sam Haggerty's locker? How are you going to do that? How are you going to manage that? Whoever's in front of him better be getting on base the entire time. Think Ray opts out? Like he doesn't pitch this season to ensure that he's healthy? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't see why he doesn't pitch next year unless the Mariners are so out of it by the time he's back that he doesn't really see it necessary. Opts out of his contract. Does he have opt-outs? There is an opt-out. Crazy. No shot he opts out. No way he opts out. I doubt it. I would highly doubt it that he would have an opt-out. News to me, Robbie Ray has opt-outs. Thoughts on Brent Suter? Yo, that's my guy. I want the Mariners to sign him so bad and have had that idea since like the beginning of the offseason. I want him on the Mariners so bad for no reason at all. Juicy. For whatever reason. Just been fixated on it. Your show now. Yep. Here's the keys, bro. Give you the password. I'll DM you. Let you log in. Cal Raleigh for Cy Young. Yo. Raleigh, the next two-way player. No. See, yeah, actually, believe it or not, I'm an observer of football from afar. Very far. I don't watch any football at all. Ever. Don't really care that much for football. But, it was a close-ish game for a bit there. I think they did better than... The Hawks did better than people thought they would in the first half for a bit. That's okay. Just don't really enjoy the league that much. Sweeps baseball as someone who played both? Sure. I mean, that's fine. I played football recreationally. Who's the best fielder on the M's? I'd probably go with Julio. I mean, he Gold Glove nominee for a reason. Gio Urshela at third base. It's just Julio. Yeah, definitely Julio. Urshela at third. It's just not a move that really does a whole lot. You know what I mean? It's not doing a whole lot. Like, it's okay, but I think you might just prefer Urias or Rojas there. Cal in the infield, who in the outfield? Yeah. Cal's a good shout as well. Definitely snubbed for the Gold Glove for sure. Not a lot of options in the infield or in the outfield. I mean, you're correct. Cade Marlowe, I mean, he's a pretty solid glove out there, but I think Julio pretty easily. This better be a good mock trade, bro. You said you got a good mock trade. It better be a good mock trade. Has to be an all-star eventually. I mean, hey. It's possible. Clase and Miller for Randy, that's it. That was my original package that we talked about on like the podcast like 2 weeks ago. I think you could probably get him for less if you lower class, like take Class A and lower the prospect a little bit there if you're able to. But I don't hate that trade. I really don't. And I could be undervaluing what starting pitching is. But I don't hate that trade, honestly. Decent trade. Trade with the Reds. I mean, there's a lot of young fielders, a lot of young bats on that team that don't really have an opportunity, a full opportunity, I guess, like the Mariners could give them. But, Yamamoto, Soler, trade for Randy Paredes. Thoughts? Signing Yamamoto would be insane. Definitely allows you to trade Wu and Miller, maybe even Gilbert, if need be. Fortnite no builds. You guys trying to play some Fortnite no builds? Accent, you liking the season or what, bro? I know you were saying, initially that you weren't going to be playing, but Not the movement. Yeah, the movement's buns. Just play no builds. Yeah, that's fair. Thoughts on India? Not worth the package that the Reds would be asking for, which I think is a problem with a lot of their players on that team. Is they might be asking for more than the Mariners want to give up. Because I think the Reds hold leverage over us with all their position players, but we hold leverage as well. So it's just kind of like a stalemate, you know? Don't have to toggle sprint. Ah, smart man. The Lego mode is literally Minecraft, and it's fire, Thomas. Having so much fun in that game mode, bro. It's crazy. Bryce Miller for Marte, just straight up. Bryce Miller for Noelvi Marte. I think that's something that the Reds would ask. I think the Mariners might want to ask for one piece more. But then I think the Reds say no. Lego Fortnite is trash. Dorian. It's fun with friends. It was fun with friends. Map is too open. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of give and take with Fortnite right now. We've devolved from baseball talk to Fortnite, but yeah. There's not a lot of great movement aside from cars, but like, I don't know. It's already Depover? Yeah. It's so Depover, guys. It's GG's. Ooh. I don't know about Apex. The grapple? Bro, the grapple's buns compared to just like a normal grappler. I guess. Maybe I'm not using it right. Hey, the question marks are unwarranted, okay? Maybe I'm just not using it right. Gilbert and a prospect to St. Louis for Gorman and Tommy Edman. Man. I just don't want to trade Gilbert, and I don't think that's enough to get. Like, I would want one more piece. I don't know what it is, but I would want one more piece if we're trading Logan Gilbert. Uh-oh. We've got trade surplus value. 29.1. The trade value simulator's here. But yeah, it's trade value is an interesting website because it can provide decent insight to what teams might be wanting or the value in which some teams might be looking at their players for. But I think oftentimes it overvalues guys that don't necessarily need it. Like, I don't know how Paredes is worth like almost 60 on that website. Personally. Raise the trident in spite of the powers that seek to siphon our power. We are Poseidon. I feel like I needed to yell that last part, and I'm sorry that I didn't. So, yeah. If I had a trident, I would raise it in honor of your message. But I don't, so I'm sorry. I could raise an empty Coke Zero can. So there's that. Robbie Hyde swears by trade value. I mean, I bring it up more than Colton does. And Colton, every single time I bring it up, he rolls his eyes. So if that tells you where he's at with it, Vidar, I'm hearing you out. But not exactly accurate. Yeah. I'm not... You use it how you want, obviously. I think use it with a grain of salt. Don't take it as this is a guarantee necessarily, because certain teams could value guys higher for whatever reason, right? I think it can be a useful tool, but swearing by it, I think, can lead to inaccurate discourse sometimes. You surprised Ellie had a sub 100 OPS plus? Kind of fell off. He's a big shock and awe, raw power, raw skills kind of guy. Really needs to refine his game. But De La Cruz is only 21, so he's got a lot of time to do it. And I think he's in a great park to do it. To just show off those raw skills, but if he can kind of hone in on not just striking out a ton, I think he's going to be great. Let's sign Brendan Ryan and Rob Whalen. Thoughts, W or L? Yo, that might be a very common Dedara of the Akatsuki W right there, Dedara. So I'm going to give you a W, bro. There's a W. Trade Gilbert Kirby now to save money? Okay. Let's just sink the ship now, you know? Let's just time to shut the franchise down. Exactly. Shut it down. Call it a day. Hear me out. We win the World Series next year. They stack bread this year to spend/trade in the offseason, add Young and Locklear, and keep their core. So, Accent, how are we going to win the World Series next year is my question. Gilbert wooing some prospects for Rosarena? Hmm? What? It's a lot for a Rosarena, bro. Memes aside, actual thoughts on Drury. Drury, honest. Whoa, that was weird. It's like I had like a Mike Tyson moment. Drury, I would be very okay with having Drury on the team. So I would I would be good with that. I don't think the Mariners make a trade with the Angels, unfortunately. Just not gonna happen. But I I mean we said it last offseason, we said it during the trade deadline last year. Not sorry. Last year as in 2022 and then 2022-2023 offseason. Drury was a guy that we liked a lot, but of course that doesn't happen that way. Thought, how about Brian Reynolds? I mean, with the contract he's on, fine. I don't know why the Pirates would move from him now that he's on that contract anyway, so I don't know. Next year's free agent class is better and better players will be paid in ARB this year. The markets will be great for additions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't disagree with you. The next year's market's going to be better. Um, oh, I'm okay. Accent, I apologize. When you said we win the World Series next year, do you mean the 2024 season or the 2025 season? Like like next year as in the season to fall like I might have just misread your question or your comment, but 25 okay, that makes way more sense. Yes. Yes. See, next season to me is still 2024, but I get what you're saying. Not to like sack off the rest of this season, but use it as more of a transitionary period to get Tyler Locklear fully developed, to get Cole Young developed, and then still have your team's core intact. Yes. My bad. I don't hate it. I know a lot of people would be upset at it because it's, what have you done for me lately? You got to win now kind of a vibe. But the additions within the system and outside of the system, because the class is better, do make sense. So it's tough to say. It's tough to say how they want to go about it. But Drury and JD should have been signed last year. Not a bad shout there, Bobby. Not a bad shout. Drury, I agree with. And then JD Martinez, I mean, I think the Mariners probably would have gone after someone less, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that would have been a good pickup for last year. Win now stuff is overrated. Yeah, you in particular, and I'm not saying this is a detriment. You prospect hug a decent amount. Like you are all in or relatively all in to the farm system, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing because I think there's a lot of great talent in the farm. And the front office has seemed pretty hesitant to move on from the farm. Like trade some of those guys, so I don't know. Donate to your GoFundMe, you'll buy the team. Okay, I'm in. McCrawley, I don't hug. I just know their values. Are you? I'm not saying prospect hugging is a bad thing. I think it's okay to prospect hug. Okay, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I promise. McGraw will be Himothy. Hey, I'm all in. You know, I'm trusting an accent's process. Mariners attendance drops to bottom 10. Oh, that's a pretty steep drop off. If they continue to kind of, you know, throw sand in the fans' faces, if you will, I wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty significant drop off. Darren Scott McCacken is literally him, but okay. Okay. Drew Thorpe, that's McGraw next year. Yeah, no, Drew Thorpe was a guy that when we were talking about the Mariners potentially trading with the Yankees at the offseason, if they were going to move on from Teo or however trades worked, I was interested and looked into Thorpe quite a bit. Bliss will be solid at second base. Canzone will be solid. Whoa. Canzone, question. Do we have more faith in Bliss or Canzone for next season? What's the Mariners payroll rank now and how much? Right now, I mean, it's conflicting reports because arbitration stuff is hard to I think estimate fully. I've seen a lot of like 105s, I've seen a lot of 117s, I've seen a lot of 120s, and it's definitely below average. So in the bottom half of the league. But not buying any tickets this year. Gone to games every year for over 20 years. You're not doing it this year. I mean, you're sharing the sentiment, I think, with a lot of fans, Y2K. I really think you are. Bliss struggles with velo. I think in the right environment, Bliss will be fine. I just don't know if that environment is opening day. Mariner should be in the 200 mil range. It's sad. I think they don't even need to be in the 200 mil range to be really good. I think they could be at like 170, 175. I guess that's like closing in on 200, but like if you spend $50 million on this team right now, you're looking pretty solid. Because if you're going to get Soler for 15 and then you sign another outfielder of some kind, I don't want to say it's Gurriel, but say it's Gurriel for the sake of the argument, for around 15 or 16, that's only 30 million. You still got 20 more to go fill out other spots if that's one player, if that's two players, however you want to do it. So I don't know. I think they don't even need to get to 200. They could be at 175 and be very, very good. Rank 19th in payroll. Yeah. A little bit below average. Bliss comes with more guaranteed production than Canzone because of their weaknesses, but neither of them should be on the opening day roster. Canzone, I think, is where we're at in the offseason, definitely on the opening day roster. But if we make no other moves, would you jump ship as a fan? No. Unfortunately, no. And I say unfortunately lightly, but no. Because it's not necessarily... It's not my fault that they don't make the moves. So I can still root for the team. I rooted for them when they were terrible. I'll root for them if they're terrible again. Would rather have the A zone than Stanton? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you actually believe that, but that's a statement, Secular. That is a statement. Sick of it? Yeah, I mean it's not fun with where we're at in terms of the offseason with waiting on things. One thing that I thought was kind of exciting. Pretty exciting. And whether or not we trade him, it's all incumbent upon that. But Bryce Miller posted that he's learning a splitter, which I thought was pretty sick. I thought, if other Mariners pitchers saw success with it and he brings that into his arsenal, could be a great secondary pitch for him to add into the fold next year. Bryce Miller, we're transitioning, right? That was an amazing segue, and I won't hear anything else about it. Bryce Miller. This is what we're ending stream with, by the way. Bryce Miller, his steamer projections next year in 2024, 8-9 over 143 innings with a 4.29 ERA. If he brings in a fire splitter like Gilbert developed last year and that Kirby showed off every once in a while, Miller, I think that's the secondary pitch that he could be looking at. His four-seam fastball, fine, good. But it's the secondary stuff that you're wanting. I could see, the projections are projections. They're a bunch of dice roll, bunch of crap, because they're always pretty low, I want to say, because you have to project to the mean more so. But if Bryce Miller, because he's working on a splitter, he posted on Instagram, I really think that he could develop that second pitch pretty well and turn into, like, this 4.32 ERA, I could see it getting close to the sub-4s, like 3.98, 3.95, like, getting to 3.8s in his second year. Should we not trade him? And I think that would be a huge addition to the rotation that I think is already projected to be very, very good. If Bryce Miller gets better next year and we don't trade him, we just hold on to it, we sign some free agents to fill out. The rotation was already great last year and we won plenty of games because of that rotation. I don't see how the rotation doesn't continue to carry us through the games if the Mariners offense is still in a poor spot, Sure, maybe we go sign Jorge Soler, and that doesn't really put us over the edge. Maybe we trade for Josh Naylor like we talked about at the top of the stream. Maybe. It could happen, right? But if Bryce Miller comes out and grows pretty well and exponentially compared to his rookie season, if he does what kind of like Gilbert did into his second year and Kirby into his second year, that's going to be, I think, a very welcome addition to the Mariners pitching staff. And I think if they don't trade him, shows that they understand where they're at with their development in terms of the roster construction and the pitchers. So, just saying. Ty France bounce back in a Bryce Miller splitter. We're so back, It's no longer dip over. Have you ever swapped last names with Colton? You want me to be Joe Swanson? Hey, Bader. So Wu slash Miller and Prelander for Noelvi Marte. Do you think that they would take it if it was like Travis Kuhn instead? I would rather not have to give up Baroa with that as well. But what will they do with Suarez and Kelenic gone? Strike out less, Cheryl. Unfortunately, um, play Luis Urias and Josh Rojas more and go find another outfielder to play alongside one of their lefties that they've already got out there with Dom Canzone and Cade Marlowe. You'd bring back Jack Z? Hmm. Wow. That's a statement. Yo, Colton smooches, bro. Sour vanilla. That, we've got a good vibes emote. Good vibes only. Made that. He got Cano somehow. Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to. Hold on. Good vibes only. Should we change that to a smooches, bro emote? I think I'm in. I think I'm into changing that to a smooches, bro emote, personally. Next stream, we're debuting the smooches, bro emote over the good vibes only because unfortunately we traded Gino. Yeah, I think Cheryl, Luis Urias is probably your answer for Luis Urias or Josh Rojas is probably your answer in terms of replacing Gino. And then outfielders, Jorge Soler is on the radar. I feel like Gurriel Jr. has also been pretty heavily rumored. Maybe not rumored, but like theorized, crafted, and put into an idea chamber if we're going to go out and sign a free agent. So it could be possible. Thoughts on the Hawks game today? Yeah, it was fine. They lost, I think, which is what the expected result. I don't really watch football that much, truthfully. So Sam Burrito, if today was happy get Geno Smith healthy day for the rest of the season, and they went out like they kind of need to. Good for the Hawks. Is Gleyber Torres in the plans? With what the Yankees just gave up to get Juan Soto, I feel like they might not want to, unless they can get a pitcher back, which might be something they'd be interested in, like Emerson Hancock and someone else for Gleyber. Maybe to kind of re up on their pitching prospects and their pitching depth. It could be an idea, but stop asking about Hawks. Bad enough, crack it suck. Hey, bro. Seattle sports is in a world. It's in a world of hurt right now, and we're all just kind of hurting. But it is around the time where Colton should be getting home, so I need to go record the podcast with him because he's got plans. At the end of the night, Huskies, go dogs, big go dogs. Well, yeah, that's that. But yeah, but like that's the only thing. Accent, okay, that's the only thing. Go dogs. So that's gonna be end of stream. Seattle sports is certainly a thing. I agree. Can we get the Sonics back? I'm in, guarded. I am in. Appreciate you guys hanging out today. Everyone chatting, saying what's up. Just listening to me ramble about some free agents and trades and Fortnite at some point. But yeah, we'll be back next Sunday as well. Just me again, more than likely, but that's okay. We'll say hi to Colton every once in a while, like we always do. Everyone say bye to me and Colton because we're gonna get out of here. But yeah, appreciate you guys always hanging out. It's always a great time, and